All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Montessori Monster. We appreciate your support. Love this growing community of educators, learners. Today with this video, we wanted to show you how to do bead bar multiplication. So we've got our place value mat out. You don't have to use it, but I like it, especially for the lesson. Kind of give the children the choice then to use it or not. And then we have our bead box that we use so commonly. And bead bar multiplication is a lot like bead bar addition in the way that it functions, but let's try a problem. So I'm gonna say that we do smaller numbers. Let's do something times 4. So let's do, let me lay out the problem first. Maybe I'll do something. We'll make our multiplier 4. You don't have to mark that. The children will have that in front of them on paper. But if we do a multiplier by 4, that means we need to put down all of the right beads in each place value. So it's going to be 4 of each kind of bead that we need to put down. And this will definitely get into the 10,000s place. So the way to read this as the problem would be 6,734. Let me do that again. 6,734 times 4, because there's 4 of each of them. It would be the same equivalent as doing this. If they've been doing stamp game multiplication, it might help to lay it out like this and show that it's the same amount 4 times. We have 6,734 4 different times. And then it's really like the adding problem, the addition problems that we've done before. Because they should have been practicing their bead bar addition probably for quite a while before starting this. So then, like we've said in other videos, we need to combine beads so that there's only one bead in each place value. So we've got to start at the unit side, right over here, the smaller green, and we combine the beads. Some of the children are going to know 4 times 4. A lot of them will need to check really quick, but once they figure out that it's 16, they trade it in for a 1 and a 6. They can't put down 61. You don't want to do that. That's a very different number than 16. So we need to put down the 1 in the tens place. That's what gets carried to the next place value. So that's how we put down 16. In the tens place, we have 4 3s. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Well, we already have a 1 and a 3 in our hand. The children pick up on this pretty quickly. They can save a little bit on their steps. We're not going to put down 31, we're going to put down 13. I would say a lot of my second graders do not know what 4 times 7 is, so they're going to probably have to count those out. And that's one of the areas they might most likely make a mistake. So when I'm teaching this, I like to slow down, and sometimes you can break it into chunks, like say, well, do you know what 7 and 7 is? They might know that. And then they can go from there. And actually adding 14 plus 14 is fairly easy because there's no exchanging. However they want to do it, they can just count beads right in a row. Hopefully they get to 28. Usually this takes some mental effort here though. And by the time they figure that out, they get excited they've got it figured out, and then they start trading it in, and they forget about this lone little one hanging out here. So it's not 28, it's actually 29. So they trade that in for a 2 and a 9, and they make sure they carry the 2, not the 9. Over here in the thousands place, we have 4 6s, so same sort of thing. They could figure out 12 and 12, because I think a lot of them will know 6 plus 6 is 12, or they can just count them. This is why it's great to do. It's not just about getting the right answer. You can teach them to memorize all these multiplication facts, and you should do that too. But just getting the right answer won't give you that sort of deep memory of how all these numbers work and the different combinations. So if they get 24, they need to add in the 2. Can't leave off this little guy. So 24 plus 2 is 26. So in this case, we leave the 6 and we put the 2 right off of the mat. Hope that shows up on the video. I think it is. That sometimes throws children off. Well, what do? I don't have a 10,000 spot. It's okay. You can just place it there. You just can't forget about it. And then when they're writing the answer, they want to start with the units place. Always start with the units when writing the answer too, because if you try to write from the 10,000s place, I feel like children often get it underneath the wrong spot. So just start with the units place when writing down. Looks like our answer is 26,936. 26,936. So that's kind of a basic multiplication problem for children to try. And again, I'd say usually this is like second grade. So maybe late first grade, maybe into third grade a little bit, but I would say the second graders are the ones that are mostly practicing this. Math is very individualized, so it depends on what their capabilities are and of course how hard they work. So but I'd say typically second grade. So that is Bead Bar Multiplication. So we've also done other lessons on this channel about Bead Bar Addition. We've talked about checkerboard some. We're going to be talking about pegboard and test tube more and more, and a lot of stamp games. So we've done a lot of math on this channel. Don't worry, we're going to get into other subject areas more. But for now, it's kind of nice to get a lot of these sort of core key math lessons on the channel. Hopefully it acts as a great reference to you, whatever you're doing. If you're teaching at home or in a school, or you're starting a school, or you just want to learn what your child is doing. All of the above is great. And like I said before, I really appreciate the support on the channel. It's been great to see this growing community, and appreciate all of you. All right, thank you for watching.